So if we have to solve the following inequality and write our answer as an interval union, so let's just solve it first here, okay? This is one where you might want to graph it in Desmos. That'd be a pretty quick way to find the different solutions. But to do it algebraically, oh, we're getting messy, aren't I? Plus 6 is greater than 0. So the way I like to do this one is think about all the different ways it could switch directions, okay? Graphs can switch directions when, here, let's, I was about to do a calculus answer. You probably didn't want to hear that yet. Let's do it this way. Look, this graph could equal 0 at several different spots, okay? At x equals -2, -2 plus 2 would make 0, and then 0 times whatever this is going to be would also be 0. Okay, the graph would also be x equals 0. It would be the equation, or oh man, the inequality left side would be 0 if you plug in 4. The left side of the inequality would be 0 if you plug in -6. So because it's a polynomial, we know it can only switch directions at these places. Okay, it's either going to be positive or negative on either sides of these. Or what you could do, knowing these numbers, is you could go to Desmos, plug in the left side, okay, and that helps us know where the graph, look, it says greater than 0. So look, the values of the graph are greater than 0 between -6 and -2. Those are all positive numbers. And it's also greater than 0 between 4 and everything beyond 4. So that's going to be our solution. Let me show you how to do it algebraically. Let's put these three things from least to greatest, okay? Here's -6, -2, 4. So what you want to do is check a number that's to the left of -6. So if you plug in x equals -7 in here, and then do out the arithmetic, that's going to be -5 times -5 times -11, so that's going to make a positive, but then times the -1 brings it to be a negative number. A negative number is not greater than 0. So it means it's not true for values. This is too long-winded. Let's do it graphically, okay? Let's go back to the graph. You could do it that way by plugging in values, but I think this is going to be easier, okay? So what we did was we typed in the left side of the inequality in Desmos. And just so you can see the website, it's desmos.com/calculator. And the inequality wants you to say where it is greater than 0, okay? So look, between -6 and -2, you have positive values. You have numbers that are bigger than 0. So the interval there, let me go back to Alex real quick. It wants as an interval, okay? So the interval there is parentheses. It's got to be parentheses, -6, -2, because it doesn't say it could be equal to 0, right? It doesn't have this line. You'd use brackets if it had that line, but since it has parentheses, it means it can't exactly equal 0, so we have to use parentheses on this interval. Between -6 and -2, it's true because it's greater than 0. And then between -2 and 4, it's less than 0 because there's negative numbers on the y-axis. So that's not part of our solution. But if you go to x equals 4, x equals 5, x equals 6, anything beyond 4 is also a solution. So we're going to use a union, and then we're going to say 4 to infinity on the x-axis. Okay, so that's our full. Oh, I just closed it. I don't think it's going to let me type it in. But this is what you'll type in Alex. I think I can get it real quick. Yeah, that's what we're on, right? Yeah, so typing in Alex, parentheses, -6, comma, -2, and then let me try just typing in U. No, it doesn't let me do that. We need to find the union operator. I don't see it here. Here, let's just try typing in 4 and then infinity. It really needs a union symbol though. I know what a union is. How do I type it? Oh. Yeah, I want to use the union symbol. Where is it? Oh, it's right there, right in front of me. There we go. Okay, so that's your solution. So I kind of did that one in a backwards way. Let me just do one more for you. Okay. So here is our inequality. You could do it by just plugging in values, but we've got technology now. So you want to go to desmos.com/calculator. Okay, and then we're just going to type this portion in the calculator. Okay, and then we're going to want to remember it's less than or equal to 0. You don't have to type that part in the calculator. Okay, so we got x minus 8, x minus 2, x plus 4. So we're looking for where this graph is less than or equal to 0. Okay, so that means below the y-axis. These are negative numbers, and negative numbers are less than or equal to 0. So look, everywhere to the left of negative 4, like negative 4.12, that's giving you negative numbers. So from negative infinity on the x-axis, that's a bad infinity. It's better. From negative infinity to negative 4 bracket, because look, we got the equal sign. The polynomial is giving us negative numbers. And then look, between 2 and 8, it's also giving us negative numbers. So again, brackets because of the equal to symbol underneath. Between 2 and 8, we also have we also have negative numbers on the x-axis. Okay, just remember when you type in your interval, you're typing in where the x-axis, where on the x-axis the graph is below 0. Okay, so we got the first one typed in, 2 comma 8 brackets because of the equal to symbol, and parentheses on infinity, right? Because you can't reach infinity.